So consequently, if you are working in California making money, you are then referred to as a franchisee. You're a franchisee of a foreign corporation. 1849 Constitution of California. 1849 Constitution of California says no California citizen will ever pay taxes in California state. Ever. There will never be a state tax in California. Ever. That's the Constitution in California. But if you say that you're a United States citizen, you're saying you work for a privately owned corporation called United States. Therefore, you are a franchisee of a foreign corporation. Therefore, you must pay the California Franchise Tax Board, not California State Tax Board. There is no state tax in California. You pay the California Franchise Tax Board because you're a franchisee of a foreign corporation on the maritime banking law, international law. You work for the Queen of England. Your butt is owned by the Queen of England in a corporation called United States, while a man called Bush is the president of the British corporation. You want to talk treason? You need to wake up and find out how this stuff really works. Because once you understand that you don't need to submit yourself as an American to a British commercial venture called courts. You're an American. You don't need to go to court. You only go to court because you agreed to go to court. When they send you a subpoena to court or a summons to court, and they've sent you something, you look at it and say, hey, Jack, that's not me. That's in all capital letters. All capital letters is a corporation. It's a corpse. It's dead. Do I look like I'm dead to you? No, I'm an American, Jack. I ain't dead. And besides, I'll go to an American system for justice. I don't need no British Grand Lodge Masonic system called courts. This British Grand Lodge Freemasonic system called Inns of Court comes out of England. And it has manipulated, exploited, and lied to the people. And everybody in America thinks they got to go to court. Oh, the judge they've sent me something that I've got to go to court. I don't go to anybody's court. I'm an American. I don't need to go to court. That's the difference between being a free man and a slave. Very few Americans have ever really thought about the fact who was the enemy of this country when it was being founded. Who was it George Washington was at war with? Bloodshed on the field of battle. Who were the Americans fighting and dying on the field of battle, fighting to found this country? The Russians? No, as a matter of fact, the Russians were our supporters. The French? No. The French were supporting us. They loved us. They thought it was a great idea, somebody actually standing up for their rights and becoming a free people. And the French say, hey, that's sensational. Matter of fact, we'll come over and help you if you want. Anybody that fights against that bunch of cutthroat murderers, British royalty, will help. Even the Tsar of Russia said, hey, you guys going to revolt against England? Hey, about time. Somebody will come help you. And so Russia helped the Americans. French helped Americans. All over the world, people say, hey, it's about time you guys got out for I love it. See somebody stand up for their own rights and take their country and become a free people. Your enemy when you founded this country was England, British royalty. When the Americans stood up in the field of battle and whipped the King of England's ass and sent the British back with their asses bleeding, all over the world, wealthy people, potentates, kings, rulers, princes, all the powerful people in the world, all over the earth, were watching. And they say, hey, we heard the King of England got his ass kicked last week. by a little group of people called Americans. Well, they chased your ass out of town, didn't they? And consequently, the King of England became the laughing stock of the world. Everybody, hey, boy, he's got all the big army and the redcoats and their guns and everything. That little bunch of Americans, they kicked your ass and sent you back crawling on your knees. What you going to do about that? You going to let him get away with that? And so the king realized he could not. They beat you on the field of battle, and they're mad. If you come back, they're going to kill you again. And so the King of England and the British royalty decided, no, we're not going to send any more people over there because you're not going to win. Those people are crazy, they got guns, and they're mad. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Later on, we'll dream up some things called United States government, and we'll incorporate it. And we will bring in what we call them attorneys and lawyers. And then we'll do business and sign contracts. And we'll be their friends. And one day, we're going to own them. The British invasion. They call the rock groups that came out of England the British invasion. That's not the only thing Britain invaded with. They invaded with treason, bloodshed, lies, deception. They've given us courts. They've made you into a corporation. They've made you so that you are politically dead. You walk into a courtroom and the judge wears a black robe. Black is the color of death. I mean, you've got Dracula wears a black robe. Frankenstein wears black. You know, always the jailer and the guy who's going to cut your head off wore the black robes. What is this black robe stuff of judges? Where does this black robe stuff come from? Somebody needs to do their homework and find out America has been raped. And the people who are running this country are nothing more than turncoats. They're traitors who have sold our great republic out. They've sold us out to our masters in England. I, for one, would like to see all British in this country, all British money, all British financing, all British corporations chased out of this country. Give them 72 hours to be out of this country, and you tell the Queen we're not sending over American boys into the Middle East to save your goddamn oil. Tell the Queen no longer will Americans crawl on their knees to that woman, to the Queen of England. What a travesty. What a travesty in this country to watch America, the great republic, being raped by the British royalty. Somebody needs to do their homework. It's all business. I don't want you to take this personal. It's just business. This is the way banks work. This is the way courts work. This is the way government works. They manipulate and use words and terms and frighten you. I, for one, am not only not frightened, I'm tired of the lies and deception. I'd like to see America free again. That's my feeling. And thank you and good night.